All right, here we go. Our 23-question interview with Dave Faehner for Yearbook. Let's knock on the door.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you? Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, really good, thanks, yeah.
What are you working on today?
Well, Sunday's kind of a straighten things out day, so we're just doing those kind of activities, yeah.
What's your average day like?
Well, it's interesting now that I'm retired. I have a lot more time to work on things like writing about the history of my family and also working on doing all kinds of sports programs like swimming and walking and pickleball, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you come on in?
Yeah, you mentioned you were writing about your family. Is that like a book or something, or like what's it
Yeah,
about?
I think maybe about 80 to 100 pages, and I'm looking forward to completing it in the next 6 months.
Nice. Also wanted to say your house is beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
What was a typical day like before you retired?
Well, you have a seat. Well, of course, as an administrator of the university, you're always involved with other people, and then we had a team players, and that took time to meet and gather with them. And furthermore, we had to do, at times we had, I've traveled some for the university, yeah.
What were some of your responsibilities on campus?
Well, there's basically three things: work with local community relations issues, work with alumni personnel, which we have thousands and thousands of alumni, and then working with major donors and encouraging them to give gifts to the institution.
How did you meet your wife?
Well, it was interesting. I was at a conference at a place called Andrews. I was working at Loma Linda, California. I came back to this conference, and there was this young, charming woman who was there leading out in this program.
He tells the truth here.
Well, she's a charming, attractive woman who was leading out in the musical program. That was the first time I'd seen her.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Mostly true.
Where was your first date?
Well, I don't know if we had one specific thing I
Tell
can
the
remember.
unforgettable one.
The unforgettable story was, in essence, we were both working in California. She at La Sierra and I at Loma Linda. We met at a restaurant after room checks, and sometime after 10 o'clock, we were in this restaurant, and unbeknownst to us, as we were busy enjoying each other's company, somebody robbed the store. And when we first became aware of it, looked out, and there was
With a gun.
with a gun.
Wow.
Yeah. And with police all over the place. It was quite a hectic moment, but one that we realized we must truly be in love with each other. We didn't even see the robbery going on.
We didn't see a thing. So we understand and experienced love is blind.
I guess. Wow.
Hey, I'll let you guys visit some more.
Thank you.
you. How long have you been married?
Well, let's see. This past summer was 40 years.
That's such a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did Almost Anything Goes get started? Like, I remember going to that back in September, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good program we've had. It started at Loma Linda 48 years ago. It was a TV program, and it was quite popular. So we took some of their creativity and put it into the Loma Linda campus, and we've surprised ourselves. The sophisticated medical and dental students, they came and had fun too, so we thought we had a winner.
Nice. I've heard that you played a big part in getting funding for some of the buildings on campus. Would you mind telling us about that?
Well, through the years, the team that I worked with probably raised close to $200 million. So lots of buildings, lots of endowments, all those kind of things we were into. And of course, it was especially fun. The Howard Performing Arts Center has been amazing, and the Andreessen Center. Some of those have been outstanding facilities that we raised money for.
I'm sorry, would you mind if I could get some water maybe?
Yes, come on, we have some water in our kitchen. Why don't you come join us?
Okay, we'll keep going with our questions though. Your job is about connecting with people. What would you say is needed to accomplish that?
Well, yeah, have a seat. We have some water here for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for me, like every person I've ever met saying, how could you ever do fundraising? But I really don't feel the focus is on money. The focus is on relationships and friendships. And those relationships, and then we share the goals of the university, and we put them together, and before you know it, we've had some success.
You've worked with a lot of donors. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, there's many, but one gentleman from Canada who I visited over a 30-year period, he helped us, and then he had some downturns in his business, but I'm pleased to say that we continually visited him for all those 30 years. And at the end, he gave us a very major gift to help with the Wellness Center. And then he said these nice words. He says, "You never gave up on me." And I appreciate that because we didn't.
Oh, wow, that's really nice. You were the one who read the top 10 reasons why students come to Andrews at the convocation in the fall. How many years have you been doing that?
Oh, we're doing it for 25 years now. And it was a couple of younger PR guys that were working here on the campus. It was their ideas. And they came along and they said, you know, this is something that they see on late night TV. And they said, why don't we do it here? We were hesitant at first, but we've done it, and with quite a bit of success.
Oh, I'd say. Is there one joke that stands out from all the years you did that?
Well, the classic joke is on the weather. Everybody talks about Andrews and the weather.
That's true.
Yeah, cold or warm, but it's always cold side. So what the joke is a picture of a beautiful summer scene, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we say, you know, that's the Andrews story. But then you get into the fall, and it's a brutal winter, and the winter is brutal, and the spring is brutal. And we just kind of, it's so crazy that we have people laughing about it. So it's been a good tradition.
Yeah. Changing lanes a little bit here, would you rather have plain, roasted, or triple breakfast burrito at the gazebo?
Well, that's a good question. I'm kind of I'm a plain person. I don't need any of the extra veggie food on it. I would just, you know, in my burrito, egg and cheese and, you know, those kind of things would be more than enough for me.
Fair enough. What is your favorite cafeteria meal?
Oh, I just think, I think the salad bar is amazing.
It is.
I don't need any other food. I just like the salad bar, to be honest with you.
What is the best way you've found to stay active all these years?
Well, I'm a person that really is competitive in sports. So whether it's when I was a kid in softball or basketball or track and field and all those kind of things, I've just continued now. It's more pickleball and those kind of things, but I've always been that way.
Fair enough. You've opened up your house to Andrew's guests over the years. If you had to guess, how many guests do you think you've had?
It's just an amazing question. But you know, by like 22 or 23 years, we've been having guests come to the house, and that's just been great. And you know, all kinds of groups, you know, like student class groups came, and student leaders have come, and so forth and so on. But if you do it for 22 years and you have a lot of people come, it's probably over 10,000 guests we've had at our house, to be honest with you.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
You were at Andrew's for 37 years, if I
Yes.
read that right.
Yeah, 37 is correct.
Do you have any words of wisdom for the current student body?
Well, it's just you're really blessed to have a good, solid academic experience full of multicultural people around the world. Then when you leave here, you're comfortable with dealing with anybody in the world because of Andrews.
Do you have any words of wisdom for those who are graduating?
Well, yeah, I would just say that you should be so thankful that you've had a good education, that you can go now out and feel comfortable that you can meet and get along with anybody. Yeah.
Is it better to have a job or to have a career, and why?
Well, I've in the 57 years I worked for the Adventist Church, my career has been working for Adventist education, but my jobs have varied from a teacher to a dean to a vice president. So it's a combination trick. I don't know if there's any one special answer.
All right, and our last question. During your tenure here, what is one way God really came through for you?
Well, it's interesting that in my house, and you're asking that question, we've lived most of our lives in dormitories, she and I, okay? And so it's came a couple years ago, a chance, and we felt an unbelievable opportunity came that God gave us a bunch of land at a very reasonable price. And now we live on 34 acres and have a nice house. And it was something I felt God did for us so that we could have all these people come and be with our house.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
This was such a fun interview.
Oh, yeah, you do a very fine job.
Thank you so much. That's so kind
I'll
of
see
you
you
to
on
say.
TV tomorrow night, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see you around. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Thanks for coming.